Hey friends, welcome back to Homestead on a Prayer. In case you're new here, my name's Jennifer. Today we are going to be talking about Azure Standard. It's going to be a little bit different because usually when we talk about Azure, it's because I'm showing you my grocery haul. We, about once a month, have a video where I show you my grocery order for the month from Azure and we go through all the new products I got. Today's a little bit different because all of these are products that I already had in my house. So these are all products that I use and love. And today I'm going to be showing you my top 10 favorite products that I purchased from Azure. Now this is a great place to start if you're maybe new to Azure, if you've heard great things about it and want to try it out, but you're not sure exactly what products to purchase. Of course, keep in mind that my top 10 is probably going to be different than your top 10. It's really going to depend a lot on what products you like. But that's enough about that, so let's dive into the products. I'm going to show you my top 10. If you have a different top 10, go ahead and leave any of your favorite products in the comments because I would love to hear from you too. So these are in no particular order. I didn't rank them 1 through 10. I'm just going to show you my 10 favorite products. So we are going to start over here with these big buckets. Now one of the big perks of buying from Azure is that you get a great price if you buy in bulk. So I buy my flour in 50-pound bags. And this right here is Central Milling flour. I use this for everything. I think it's considered an all-purpose flour, but I love it for bread. I use it for pretty much everything. It is definitely my favorite flour. It's a high-quality organic flour, so it comes in 50-pound bags. So every month when I get it, I fill up about 2 5-gallon buckets. There's a little bit of space left over if you fill up 2 5-gallon buckets with the 50-pound bag. So I just kind of rotate through this flour as I use it. This one here, I have labeled. You can see that I got this in July. So when I use this up and I replace it with some new flour, I will change this label with the new month for when I got it. Now over here, this other 5-gallon bucket is organic cane sugar. That is another great product from Azure. This one you can buy in bulk as well. I buy this in 25-pound bags as opposed to 50-pound bags because we don't go through sugar nearly as fast as we go through flour, but I still like to stock up on it. So I buy this in 25-pound bags, which will fill most of a 5-gallon bucket. So again, the same principle here. I just rotate through the sugar, and as I use it, I buy more and replace it. That way I always have a little bit of a stockpile, but we're making sure that we actually go through everything we purchase and nothing goes bad. So my next favorite product from Azure are these beeswax wraps. If you've seen some of my baking videos, you've probably seen that I use these a lot. These are a great alternative to plastic wrap. You can see these are a little bit discolored because these have been much used and well loved. I use these a lot. So if you buy the package of these, it comes in a package of 3, each one's a different size. This medium size is the one that I use the most. So basically how these work, these are an alternative to plastic wrap. You can cover up some food. I use them a lot when I'm baking bread. When I have dough rising in here, I'll use this to cover it rather than plastic wrap. And you just kind of use the heat from your hands to mold it to whatever you want to cover, and it gives it a great seal. So this is one of my favorite products. Now one thing to keep in mind with these is that you have to be pretty careful when you wash them. You do not want to expose them to heat, and you definitely don't want to wash them with hot water. So you have to use cold water to wash them, which is a little bit of a challenge, but I still think that it's worth it. Basically this has a wax coating on it, and if you use hot water or if you let this get exposed to heat, it can melt the wax coating, and you don't want it to get into your food. It also will make this be a lot less effective. So that's the one drawback, but as I said, I think it's worth it. Now, I do definitely still use plastic wrap. This hasn't eliminated my plastic wrap needs completely, but it definitely cuts down on the amount that I use, and so I think it's a great product. So I'm just going to show you guys the other sizes that it comes into. There's a little mini one, and there's this big long one. So if I'm covering, say, a 9 by 13 baking pan, this is a great option for that. The next thing that I really like to purchase at Azure is dried herbs and spices. Now, if you buy your spices in bulk, for example, I bought a pound of garlic powder. Now, it doesn't come in this jar. It comes in basically a plastic bag, and I added it to this jar. I cut the label off and taped it to my jar. Now, you can see this is a lot of garlic powder. We do go through garlic powder fairly quickly. This will still last us quite a while. So I have also here cinnamon. Now, cinnamon's a little bit lighter. I bought a pound of that as well, and it filled up this jar, plus I want to say another jar about half this size. And I have onion powder here as well. They also have mixed spices. So for example, this is a bag of taco seasoning. I just got this yet, so as you can see, I haven't even tried it yet. But I really like the herbs and spices that they have. They have a great selection, and if you buy your herbs and spices in bulk, like I said, I usually buy about a pound, it lasts a really long time, and it's a really great affordable price. So again, that is another one of my favorite products from Azure. Now, my next favorite product, if you've watched my Azure hauls, you've seen this. Well, if you've watched my Azure hauls, you've seen all of these things before. But I talk about this lip balm pretty regularly. I really like this lip balm. This is Singing Dog Vanilla. This specific flavor is vanilla coconut, and this one is my favorite. I believe they also have plain vanilla, vanilla mint, and I want to say vanilla cherry. All the ones that I've tried are really good, but vanilla coconut is definitely my favorite. This is all organic, so it's great, all natural ingredients. It feels really smooth going on my lips, and it keeps them nice and moisturized. So I've been really happy with this. Plus, it's a great price as well. So I usually buy this in a pack of 3. Every couple months, I'll buy a little bit more of this and kind of stock up on it. So the next Azure product that I really love are these Stacy's organic tortillas. Now, these tortillas are great. They come frozen. I usually buy the 3-pack, so each of these bags will have 10 tortillas in it, and I buy it in a pack of 3 bags. You can get this regular Stacy's organic tortillas, or you can get the big version as well. The first time I bought them, I did get the big version, but I didn't have my measurements quite right, so they came in, they were a lot bigger than I expected. So since then, I've bought the regular version, but if you want big tortillas, like if you're gonna make burritos or something that takes a lot more wrapping, the big tortillas are a great option too. So these are organic. They have really clean ingredients. They don't have all those preservatives, which is why they send them to you frozen. So what I like to do is I buy them, I just keep them in my freezer until I need them. I'll pull out a pack one at a time. If we're planning to make tacos for dinner, if we want to make wraps for lunch, anything like that. They defrost pretty quickly, but keeping them in your freezer will help them last a good long time, and that way you get to use all of them. Now, my next favorite product from Azure, and as I said, this list is not in order, but if I had to choose just one favorite product, it would probably be this butter. This is Rumiano organic butter. I get the unsalted, but they do have a salted version as well. I love this butter. This butter is organic, it's grass-fed. I'm just gonna open it up and show you how rich and yellow this butter is. So if you're used to a butter that's not grass-fed, that rich color, that rich yellow color is pretty surprising at first, but it's so good. It's really delicious, really rich. So I use this in everything. I usually buy this in the 10-pack. So when it comes like this is a half pound. This is the equivalent of 2 sticks of butter. So I buy a package of 10 of these. I usually stick about 8 of them in my freezer. I'll stick 2 in my fridge and use them. As I use them up, I just pull other ones out of my freezer and replace them. So I have a decent stockpile in my freezer right now. We went through a lot of these for Christmas baking recently. But as I said, this is great butter to have on hand. It's probably my favorite butter that I've ever had. The next product that I really like from Azure is the organic blackstrap molasses. Now, molasses isn't a very exciting product, but I find that I actually do get a lot of use out of this. One of the main uses that I get out of this molasses is making my own brown sugar. So I did mention back here, I have a 5-gallon bucket of their organic cane sugar. Now, if you've tried to find organic, natural brown sugar, it's a little bit challenging to find at a decent price. So I started making my own brown sugar, and that way I get to control the ingredients. So I use the organic molasses, I use organic cane sugar, and it comes out to be a really good price that way, and you get a good quality product. You can control exactly how dark you want your sugar to be. It's really, really easy. I do have a video showing how I make my own brown sugar. It is one of the first videos that I made, so if you watch that video, please be kind and bear with me. But I'm going to go ahead and link that in the video description so that you can take a look at that video. So I do like to use molasses in a couple other things as well. I use it sometimes in baking. I like to use it in some sauces and salad dressings, things like that. But far and away, my most common use for it is in homemade brown sugar. So I do really like this product. It's a really reasonable price as well. So the next product that I really love is bulk yeast. Now, yeast is something that I use a lot of. Even though I do a lot of sourdough baking, I do a lot of other baking as well, and that requires a lot of yeast. And yeast can get really expensive if you're just buying those little packets, or even if you're buying that little jar that you can get at the grocery store. That still adds up and gets really expensive. So I like to buy yeast from Azure in 2-pound packages, and then I just store it in these jars in my refrigerator. and it lasts a really long time that way. I just think that it's a great price. It's a great product. My baked goods come out really well. I've been really happy with it. So that is a product that I definitely recommend from them. Now, another product that I've really been loving from Azure lately is their block cheese. I've been getting the 5-pound blocks of the Rumiano's organic cheese, same company that makes the butter that I really love. So they make organic cheese in about a 5-pound block. Of course, I believe it comes in smaller sizes too, but you of course get a better price if you buy the giant 5-pound block. So I've been getting the cheddar, the mozzarella, and also the Monterey Jack. And when the block comes in, I just chop it into chunks. I grate it all in my food processor, and then I package it up in these individual Ziploc bags. I'll put the majority of the bags in my freezer, just pull them out as I need them, and I'll keep 1 or 2 of each variety in the refrigerator. So that's a great way to make sure you get your full use of this cheese. It's a great way to make sure none of it goes bad or gets moldy, and it's a great way to make sure that you always have cheese on hand. So I've been really liking that cheese. So that's 10 products there. I have a bonus 11th product that I want to mention. The reason I didn't include this in my top 10 is because, well, I really like this product. It's fairly new to me, so I don't really feel like I can say it's a top 10 product when I haven't used it a real lot yet. But this organic coconut oil here, this is the refined coconut oil, so it doesn't have the coconut flavor. I find that I love the flavor of coconut, but not everyone does. And sometimes when you're baking, you don't always want that coconut flavor to come through. So I got the refined coconut oil. This is organic. This is a gallon. This was a great price, and so far I've been really happy with it. So that kind of gets an honorable mention in my top 10. So that completes my top 10 Azure products. I definitely recommend each and every one of these products. Now, obviously, people have different needs, people have different preferences. Your top 10 might look completely different than mine. So if you're familiar with Azure, go ahead and list your favorite products in the comments below, and maybe I will get some new ideas of products to try. Now, I have lots of other products that I'm constantly trying from Azure, so maybe in another year or so, I'll do another top 10 list and it will look completely different. In the meantime, if you're new to Azure, these are great products to start with. If you're not new to Azure, I'd love to hear what you love. All right, guys, thank you so much for joining me and just hanging out with me while we talk about my top 10 favorite Azure products. I hope you're having a great day, and I can't wait to see you next time. Bye, guys. I'll see you soon.